Hey y'all, my name is Nico Tortorella. Welcome back to Full of Shift. Things are a little bit different today. We are not in the same studio, and I'm solo right now. Do you see this? Do you see this behind us? We are at Spotify, downtown LA. I am here in Los Angeles. Bethany is back home in the old state of Florida. And I just want to keep pushing through and keep having conversations with people and keep this podcast alive in every which way that I possibly can. So I used to live here in LA. I know a bunch of people here. I got a lot of friends here. Some of my best friends are here. And I was racking my brain trying to figure out who I wanted to bring on for this first episode in LA. And I had a plan. Things kind of shifted. See what I did there? Things kind of shifted a little bit last night. There were supposed to be two people that were going to come in this morning, but it's just one. Somebody got a little sick, but that's okay. I shot this little TV show called The Walking Dead World Beyond from 2019 to 2021. We shot 2 seasons in Richmond, Virginia. And it was I'm so used to, I had been used to up until that point being the younger person on a set. See what I did there? The youngest person in a cast, right? And I got cast on the show, and the premise of Walking Dead World Beyond is a handful of kids that are dealing with this post-apocalypse zombie world, as The Walking Dead does, right? So I was cast as the older one in the room, and it was this group of younger kids, and we all were forced to get so close, so fast, just because of the nature of the show. We were on location in Richmond, Virginia, and I don't know if you remember what happened in 2020, but shit got a little weird. So we were shooting this post-apocalyptic show. COVID happened. The world shut down. I was fight training, killing zombies, and then the world became what it was. It was just the fucking art imitating life of all of it was wild. And one of the girls who was on the top of the call sheet was our guest today, Alexa Mansour. Her mom was supposed to come in too today, but like I said, there was a little family sickness going on, so it's just going to be Alexa and I, and she's not a parent, but I think there's a lot that we can unpack on just our relationship in Virginia, her relationship with her family. And I also want to get into how her generation, her group of friends, she's a little Gen Z, how they're talking about becoming parents and if she wants to have kids. I got lots of questions. I'm going to stop fucking explaining, because if Bethany was here, she would be like, Nico, stop rambling. You're rambling. Notice I'm just in a room by myself and I can just keep talking. I'm going to stop. Okay. We're going to get into this. I'm excited she's here. My name is Nico Tortorella. This is Full of Shift. Dun, 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 dun. Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift. Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift. Nico and Bethany are full of shift. And she's here, Alexa Mansour. Am I saying that right? Mansour?
Yeah,
or is it Mansour?
No.
Mansour.
Mansour. Yeah.
It sounds French.
It's not.
It's not?
No.
What is it?
Egyptian.
Egyptian?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Who are you, Alexa Mansour?
Honestly, I don't know. It's been a minute since I got asked that question.
Bethany hates that question.
It sucks.
I feel I love the question because it's not about what you answer. It's about how you answer.
Oh, I'm confused.
But yeah, I mean that's a version of the answer that I really appreciate. I think we're all confused.
Yeah, ever since 2020, I think it's all been a little bit of
shit's on fire.
Yeah. No pun intended. Didn't you have that show? Was that City on Fire?
Yeah, I did. That was another show that I was on.
Oh, yeah.
She's my publicist today, y'all. 2020 was
a bitch.
The thick of it too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the time. Whenever I think back about COVID, I think about us.
Oh.
But because we started shooting our first season of The
Right
Walking
before
Dead
COVID.
right before. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then we went back and did the second season.
Yeah.
Which, like, what was that like for you? Just in terms of, I mean, for me, the fact that we were shooting this post-apocalyptic zombie show
Yeah.
in the middle of the world falling apart just was like a little too close to home.
Yeah, I agree with that. It just felt kind of weird, and I felt like we'd been out of the game, even though it had only been like a year or something.
Right.
Like, it just kind of felt like we were way different people, you know?
I mean, do you remember that like full Zoom that we had with everybody? That call that we had with
Before?
like COVID before second season, like about COVID protocols. And do you remember when they were like, yeah, you have to wear trackers on your wrists because we need to know where you're
my
going
God.
all of the time, and you can't leave your apartments, and you guys can't even hang out with each other. Like, we were like sequestered.
We broke all those
I mean,
rules.
of course, we didn't do all of those things. Sorry, y'all. But like, that was how they wanted it set up.
Yeah. We didn't have did we actually have the trackers though? I can't remember. It was like a necklace, right?
It was like a little tab thing. I don't think any of us ever took
Yeah.
them anywhere. They were like specifically for us at work.
Interesting.
Shit was so weird.
Wow, my memory sucks.
How did you like that show? What was your character's name on that show?
Hope.
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 Oh my
Hope.
God,
It's-
Hope.
Looking for that right now. She was like literally me at the time of booking the show. A little degenerate, a little rule. I wouldn't say a rule breaker. I don't think I ever broke the rules. But
That was your first big series regular job, right?
that was my first series regular in general. Yeah.
That's a weird shift, isn't it?
Oh, beyond.
I mean, it's like it's the dream for every actor.
Oh, it's great. I thought I had made it.
Well, it constantly bends and shifts. Listen, I've been doing this for 16 years, and like
Holy
it's never
shit.
constant.
Yeah.
It's always all over the place.
Yeah.
And the industry is a mess right now.
Yeah, that's what
Like,
I
I was
keep
planning
hearing.
on talking about this later, but
Yeah.
I've never seen it this bad.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's a bitch
It's
right now.
it's worse than COVID right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I worked during COVID.
Yeah, we worked throughout all of COVID for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean, Younger was the first show to go back in New York City.
Wait, did you do a season of Younger after
between.
Walking Dead?
In between 2 seasons.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I watched it. It's great.
Yeah, Josh came back like super jacked up for the last season. I was like, that is not the same dude. But how long had you really been like hitting the pavement before you booked that job?
Well, I started when I was like 16, but it was all guest stars, maybe like 2 episodes if I was lucky. And then I booked Walking Dead when I was 23 or 24. So it took about 6 or 7 years
Yeah.
for something to actually like really happen.
You grew up here in LA.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Mostly in Bel Air, and then I moved to El Segundo and lived with my grandparents after my parents' divorce for a little while.
How old were you when your parents got divorced?
I want to say 15. It was 9th grade. So whatever age you're in 9th grade.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Oh, it's miserable.
How did you kind of handle all of that?
Not well. Not well at all. And I didn't even realize in the beginning that I wasn't handling it well. It kind of took a couple months, like a year, for me to realize, like, oh, this is really bad. And, like, it's affecting me way more than I want to let on. And also, like, I don't think all divorces have to be bad on the kids.
Yeah, no,
You know?
for sure.
This was just a really messy one.
Your mom was supposed to be here today,
She was supposed
which
to be
was
here.
I was really excited about.
I know, so was I, but my sister has strep throat.
And that sucks.
And that's, like, contagious.
It's awful.
Yeah.
But your mom was on TV when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Let's unpack that
Oh,
shit.
wow. Okay.
What is the story there?
Okay, backtrack a little bit. I had this manager ages ago, and she was like, we should get you a manager in the Latin market. I was like, yeah, sick, for sure. So I meet with this guy. He meets my mom, and he's like, oh my God, there's a job coming up. You'd be perfect for it. And my mom was like, what is it? He's like, it's like the Real Housewives, but for Hispanics.
What year is this?
This is like 2015. Wait, when did I graduate?
So you're like 17, 18.
I was about 17, 18 when it started.
So your mom hadn't done anything in the entertainment industry
she went
before.
to law school and was like a
What?
real estate person. Yeah.
And he just came to her and was like, you're the one.
Yeah.
Okay, what
Yeah.
was that like?
Well, okay, so before that, she had auditioned for the Beverly Hills Housewives.
Okay.
And she didn't get it. My sister and I were young and we were stupid and we might have caused a little ruckus in the audition.
Wait, the whole family had to go audition?
Yeah, they came to our house in Bel Air,
No.
and my sister and I were like, okay, we have to create drama because that's what they want.
Yeah.
And we told them that like our parents like hit us.
Oh,
and,
that's not good.
And that okay, in all fairness, like we were really young. We thought
Right.
that was the kind of drama that they wanted.
Wait, how old were you and your sister when that happened?
We were still living in Bel Air. My sister must have been like 6 or 7, and I must have been like 13.
I mean, would like the whole family watch these types of reality shows? Like you knew what you were getting into?
A little bit, yeah. The
Yeah.
only show that I'd watch was like the Kardashians and stuff. And I think in my head I was like, oh my God, that's what we're gonna be like.
Right.
No. Hispanic reality TV is so different than American reality TV.
How? It's just
I feel like there's like not as many rules, you know? Like it's a little bit more like, I can't remember the word, but there's no laws.
escándalo.
Yeah, there you go. There's a lot of pasión.
Yeah, pasión.
But yeah, my mom did that for like 4 or 5 years.
So she got the job.
She not the Beverly Hills
Not the Beverly
Housewives, but
Hills.
she got Rica Famosa Latina.
Rica famosa latina.
Yeah, and it means rich famous Latin.
And she would shoot here or down in Mexico?
They would travel like every now and then, but they mostly shot it when we were living at my grandparents' house.
And you were on the show too?
For a little bit, yeah, like the first 2 seasons.
I mean, that was like your first exposure to the industry was through Rica famosa latina.
Like first like main character energy kind of thing. Yeah.
Like how, first of all, my question is, how did your dad kind of navigate that?
So he wasn't in the show at the time. At that point, they were split
Oh,
up.
he was at one point.
No,
never.
No, never.
Got it,
Like
got it,
he
got it.
did some scenes and stuff, but
Got
this was
it.
before shit got really. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
This was before things got really ugly.
Yeah.
And he like, I remember once it started and my mom started getting a fan base. He would like try and like message the fans, like talk to the fans, and like try and get in on it. And I'm like, dude.
So he was into it at first.
It was more so out of like a bitterness, I think. You know, like she'd be nothing without me, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Was his family here in LA too?
No, he's got no family in LA.
He's got no family here. Because like you, your sister, and your mom are a powerful trio.
Yeah.
So, and your grandparents are here too. So you had your mom's whole side of the family, but your dad was here solo.
Yeah. Yeah. Because my mom pretty much grew up here. She moved here when she was like 6, I think.
What do you remember as a kid about their dynamic?
My mom and my dad.
Yeah.
Looking, like, in the moment, I thought everything was fine. But looking back, like, they were checked out of that marriage. Mostly my dad. It just felt a little bit forced.
How did they find each other?
Okay, I might butcher this story, but from what my mom told me, she was walking around in Westwood, and my dad was in his, like, old Jaguar or some kind of, like, nice car. He saw her and he pulled his car around and like tried to start talking to her. And she was like, you're way too old for me. Like, not gonna happen. And yeah, he had a lot of girlfriends when they were married. But my mom, I don't want to say she was accepting of it. I think she wanted kids.
Yeah.
You know, and it was one of those things that like she wanted her 2 babies.
Right.
And once he brought the other woman home, like to our family house, that's when my mom was like, no, fuck
So
that.
you knew about it even as a kid.
I found out when I was about 12. Yeah, or maybe 13.
Were you and your dad super close when you were a kid?
Not when I was a baby, not really. Like, I would cry when he'd pick me up from school. I don't know why. As I got older, we were a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But it's not until like now that we're really close.
Yeah, y'all are really close now, right?
Oh yeah, I see him
Yeah.
like almost every day.
I mean, the videos of you two on Instagram are so fucking cute. You and your mom were really close as kids?
Yeah, we were super close. I had a lot of like separation anxiety from her. We're still close, but I think like a healthy level of close.
You guys live in the same building right now.
Yeah,
Right?
she followed me.
I mean, that's real close.
It's real close. It's nice. Like
Yeah.
it's close, but it's not too close.
Right. I mean, that's also
you
like
know?
a cultural thing too, right?
I think so. Like I think if she had her choice, she would get a house and like we'd all live together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I don't really want to bring like my person. I don't have a person right now, in case anyone's wondering.
Oh, is that a shout out? Are you looking? are we actively seeking love here on Full of Shift? Y'all, if anyone is listening, Alexa's Instagram is at...
Alexa Mansour.
There we go. We gotta plug it.
But yeah, I don't like. I love my mom, but I think living with her, it's too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your grandparents play a big role in your life, and they did when you were a kid. What does that relationship mean to you?
Well, we were really close when I was living with them. It was a little bit toxic in the sense of like they're from a different generation.
Yeah, totally.
You know? So things that we would go through, like my sister and I, they didn't understand. It was like, just get over it. Like, your life is pretty great. It's like, yeah, I get that. And I know that there's definitely people out there that have it a lot worse, but I don't think that means that our feelings aren't valid. And once I moved out of my grandparents' house, it just like the relationship just kind of died off a little bit. You know, like I still see my grandma every now and then. My grandpa passed away about a year ago, actually. Thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think family's a tough one. And I don't think family's necessarily the one that's blood related.
Elaborate.
I speak to maybe like an eighth of my family. Like my dad's family, I have no issue with them. I just don't know them.
Right.
And I also don't speak Arabic, so it's very hard to have that communication.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah. And then my mom's side of the family, she's got a couple siblings that I really love being around. Like her youngest sibling is probably one of my favorite humans on the planet.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's great. He's amazing.
Lives here?
Lives here,
Yeah.
yeah. Lives in, well, I'm not going to say where he lives.
Yeah.
But like the animosity between her older siblings, men,
Yeah.
I'm like, are your guys' brains that fucking small that you don't know how to treat a woman or like be close to your family? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure if I needed like an emergency contact or something, they'd be the first people to pull the trigger. Like, or if you know what I mean.
No, I don't. Pull
If
the
there-
trigger.
okay,
if
that-
there was a problem and you had to call someone, they would step up to the plate?
No, sorry, I meant to say that the other way
The other
around.
way around, yeah.
They'd be the first ones to push me off a bridge and look the other way.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
The
worded
complete
that.
opposite
Complete
direction.
opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, and I have friends that I know I could call in situations and they'd be there at any point in
Right.
time.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think that your family is what you were kind of born with.
I mean, growing up half Egyptian, half Mexican, like how, especially in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
Like this culturally diverse spot, like how did you find identity in that kind of like mixed bag? Like,
It was hard.
yeah.
And it's still hard. Like I still have moments where I'm like, I'm not entirely sure who I am. And I think things that happened throughout my life also kind of stunted that growth in a way. I definitely do relate a lot more to my Hispanic side, and
Yeah.
maybe that's because I lived with my grandparents and was submerged in that culture. But yeah, it was a tough one because there was no like set viewpoint on life when I was growing up, if that makes sense.
Did you spend any time in Egypt growing up?
I did. I went when I was little. I think I was about 10 or 11 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe even younger because my sister was a baby. And from what I remember, it was really nice. But that was also like maybe 20 years ago.
But it never felt like this is my home, these are my people type of thing.
A little bit. The culture over there is also very welcoming.
Right.
You know, so it's like it's kind of hard not to feel that way when you're over there.
Right.
And even if I meet someone who's Middle Eastern in LA, they're very much like, oh my God, you're a Middle
one of
Eastern too.
us. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
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 and
yeah.
that's really, really nice. But it's very different than like going to Mexico and speaking the language and being able to like talk to people
Right.
and have that.
Is Egypt Middle Eastern or African?
Well, it's definitely in Africa.
Yeah, this is a hot
Wait, is this
hot
actually a
button
thing?
topic. Yeah. Because Egypt is in Africa.
It's in Africa.
But people think that Egypt is
But is it not in the Middle
Eastern.
East?
No, it's in Africa.
But isn't like part of, but it's like lower down in Africa.
No,
Or
it's
is it-
all the way up on the top of Africa. It's on the water up on the northeast coast
Oh my God.
of Africa.
I've been having way too many dumb moments.
But there's like a lot of identity politics specifically about Egypt and like who lives there and what the history of Egypt is. I mean, Egypt is a fascinating place with obviously
Yeah.
so much history.
Yeah.
But there's like a claiming of Egypt that crosses different people. And do you ever like unpack any of that or?
Okay, well, listen. There's like a difference if I say I'm Middle Eastern versus I'm African. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's a different thing, right?
It's a very different thing.
Yeah.
But also I feel like it's more socially acceptable for me to say I'm Middle Eastern. Do you
Where?
know?
Because you're not black?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'd feel weird saying that.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
you are half African.
I am, but
Yeah.
like, like I look like a sheet of paper.
I've always thought it was an interesting thing because, I mean, people talk about it all the time.
I'm gonna have to Google this when I get home because this is gonna bug
you,
me.
You need to do some like deep identity work on your Egyptian
Dude,
heritage.
did you know that Benjamin Franklin wasn't president?
What?
Did you know that?
Yeah, I know that Benjamin Franklin wasn't. How did we get there?
It was another thing that I discovered recently.
How recently, babe?
I was live on Instagram and someone was like, "So who's on Mount Rushmore?" And I was like, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin.
Who's our president right now?
Biden. Well, he just stepped out of the race, so now I'm like,
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, technically,
it's still him.
Yeah. We're not going to really get into politics
I don't think
here
we should.
on Full of Shit.
I think that's probably a
but
good idea.
that is definitely going to live on the socials. Did you know Benjamin Franklin wasn't president?
And then I thought he invented electricity, and my mom was like, "That was Edison."
Edison, yeah. Do you know what Benjamin Franklin did invent?
He was a founding daddy.
He was a founding daddy. Growing up in LA, let's talk about that. I mean, it's obviously like what you've known your whole life, but you've spent time out of LA now.
Yeah.
Like, what does this city mean to you? Especially like the way that you grew up here.
It's home. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I could picture myself living and like raising a family anywhere else. Even though LA will suck the life out of you and then spit you out. It just kind of depends on how you view it, I guess. I didn't think it was very toxic when I was growing up, but looking back, there's a lot of things that I wish I would not have done. And I don't think I would have done had I not been in LA.
Like what?
Dude, going to the club at 17?
Yeah, that culture is pretty intense here.
Like you show up to a nightclub and you have a fake ID that a promoter will give you. I had a fake ID and the girl was African American. And they look at it and they let me in. And I'm like,
Well, you're African.
I know.
Just fucking with you.
But,
but that was the norm. I mean, that definitely was the norm in LA and New York. I mean, I grew up in Chicago, but like kids that I knew in my 20s that grew up in LA and New York, you just grow up so much faster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the stories from like people that I used to date that grew up in LA and like the drugs in middle school,
God.
like,
Yeah.
especially in the private schools, like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I went to a French private school up until, I think I left after 9th grade. There were people doing drugs at like, maybe like 13, 14 years old, you know? And it's like in and out of rehab. And I'm like, holy shit.
What year did you graduate high school?
2014. Yeah.
So did you have social media in high school? It was just kind of
Towards
starting.
the end.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get on social media in high school?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to post about this guy that I had a crush on. So.
But you had already been on TV. So did people
When
in
social
high
media
school?
started?
No, when you were in high school, you were on Rica Famosa Latina, right?
Yeah, when I was like 17, 18-ish.
So like your junior, senior year. Did people know in your high school that you were doing that? Was it like a thing?
No one gave a shit.
Yeah.
But I'm sure people in like Mexico
Right.
were like
You got a big
fangirling.
fan base in Mexico, right? You and your mom. Your mom
Yeah.
especially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She can't walk down the street of Mexico
Really?
without someone like stopping her. Yeah.
I remember the first time I met your mom and you were telling me a story about her being on the show. You said something, there's like a video of her like getting in a fight and her hand getting glass in it,
Oh my
right?
god.
And
Oh
you
my
like pulled
God.
it up and we watched it and you were like, this is my mom.
Oh my god. The wine glass?
The wine glass.
Oh my god. Okay, so
Like the show got rowdy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that would not fly now. Like there's she still has a scar on her arm
Really?
from the wine glass. So I'm out at a nightclub and doing some stuff that I shouldn't be doing.
Hey.
And I get a call and it's like, your mom's in an ambulance right now. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? They're like, oh, Patricia, who, shout out Patricia, I love you. You got me my most recent manager.
Hey.
Thank you very much. But anyways, Patricia, like, there was a broken wine glass and she went like that to my mom's arm after some like altercation.
A scripted altercation?
No.
No, it was very real.
Maybe the topic was scripted. Like, usually they'll tell one person what's going to happen.
But everybody's drinking. Everyone's like, you know, it's reality TV. Yeah.
And, you know, like, they're Latinas. They take everything from here to here in like 10 seconds. So.
And she got into a fight.
She got into a fight. Wine glass, cut her arm, has a huge gash like on her arm. I can't remember where it is. Battle scars, dude. Battle scars.
We're watching the video and then I meet your mom. I mean, that was like my first introduction to her.
Yeah, I'm not very good at like prefacing people.
But was your exposure to reality TV like one of the reasons that you wanted to be an actor? Did you have friends in high school that were like in the industry and doing the thing? I mean, it's like something in LA where the industry is just like your neighbor, right? You see it everywhere here.
If anything, I think reality TV made me realize I didn't want to be on that kind of TV.
Right.
I got out of it as soon as I possibly could. But growing up, I had a lot of friends that were in the music industry.
Got it.
And parents of kids who were like managing like the Black Eyed Peas and the Pussycat Dolls. I was best friends with
my music manager.
Your music manager. Yeah. That was weird. When I saw my friend from like middle school there, I was like, oh my God.
You came to my show in LA last month.
I did.
And I was playing with Sophie Gray and her brother was on stage too. And my music manager is Martin Kirsenbaum. And you were like, wait, how do you know these people?
Yeah.
You went to high school with my manager's kids.
I did.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's
like,
wild.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It really is a small city.
Dude, so small.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like bunch of music kids, and I wanted to be a musician growing up. Like that.
Well,
was
you are
my
a
thing.
musician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get into that, but
yeah. So I saw all that happening, and I was like, that was kind of the kicker of me being like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then got discouraged for a little while, and got into acting. Acting helped with the music stuff, and now we're here.
What is it about being an actor that you love? I mean, besides like the job aspect of it.
I love not focusing on my own shit for a little while. I feel like once you're on set and once you're doing a scene, even an audition, for that short amount of time, whatever you have going on that day, it's gone.
It's like an escapist situation.
100%. 100%.
And that was something you were like actively seeking when you started doing it?
I don't know if I'm ever not going to seek that. I think it's really tough to compartmentalize for me. And that's like acting and music. Those are two things that really help me with that. And just like, it's like a nice feeling of fullness when I'm doing it, you know?
Yeah, totally. I hear that. I mean, art really does have the power to transform, right? And like create other worlds in your own universe. And I mean, I talk about it all the time. It's why I do so much of what I do. At what point in your life did you start writing music?
I started writing when I was like 14 or 15.
So like right around your parents' divorce?
Yeah.
Was there a connect there?
I think so. I think it was another thing that like I didn't want to talk about my feelings because I was kind of scared of what people would say and how they would react. So I started writing about them and then just kept going at it. Realized that was like my therapy.
Yeah. And were you playing it for other people or was it just kind of like for yourself at first?
Every now and then. I think once my mom started picking up on the fact that I kept writing music, she would want to hear it.
Yeah.
And like her friends would want to hear it. But like I've seen videos of myself singing at 14, 15 and I sound like a dying walrus. It's so bad.
We may have to put one of those videos up.
Oh. I will. I'll go on Facebook. And
No, I mean one of the first couple weeks of us shooting The Walking Dead, we were shooting in that college. Remember? We were in Richmond. We were shooting at the college.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a piano in the room next to where we were shooting. And you just sat down and started playing and started singing. I remember Matt came over and was like, oh, this is so good. This is so beautiful.
Oh, my God, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It was the first time I heard you sing. I mean, your voice is like angelic.
Thank you.
And just like the way that you can sit down on a piano and just share, you know? Like, it's beautiful.
Thanks.
For real. Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's like the ultimate dream in terms of acting and music? Like, what's the goal?
I really want to do stuff that takes people out of their own heads, you know, and I don't necessarily mean like make you happy, but just kind of evoke like feelings. That sounds very broad and general.
Very Benjamin Franklin.
He wasn't president, just in case you guys were wondering. No, it's like, okay, for example, when I would watch The Mummy growing up, it was like this, I can't even describe.
Oh,
Please try again.
Yeah, it was my answer. It was that bad. What is that? What is your phone case? Why is it so big?
y'all, wait, we need to pause for a second. I have never had anything in my life, anything that more people feel like they need to talk about when I pull this out.
Can I hold it real
Yes,
quick?
you can hold it. My daughter, Kilmer Dove, threw my phone into the ocean while we were fishing one day. And it sank, bye-bye phone, never see you again. And I said, I'm never going to let that happen again. So I got a phone case. It's
for
bigger than your head.
reference.
It's literally bigger than your head. I got a phone case that floats. And it floats. She's a buoy.
But it doesn't drown?
No, it does. No, it floats.
I know, but if it lands like that, won't water get into it?
I mean, the iPhone is like water resistant. It's not waterproof. Like water can get in the holes, and there's
Yeah.
like a little video that you can play to get the water out of the speakers.
No.
Oh yeah, you don't know about that video?
No.
Yeah, it's a cute video. It's just different frequencies that get the
Yeah.
water out. But I thought I got the phone case because I thought I was just gonna take it to the water when I went to the water.
Mm-hmm.
We live on the water in Florida, and I started getting really attached to it. Like I took it off. I was coming to LA once actually, and I took it off, and I immediately missed it. I was like, my phone is so small,
Oh,
and I have an emotional attachment to that phone case now.
that's so cute.
And for real, it just brings people joy. Like
It does,
every time I'm
yeah.
at a gas station, when I'm going through an airport, everyone feels they have to be like, oh my God, that's the biggest phone case I've ever seen.
Because it is.
Someone yesterday was like, is that a fucking hard drive? And I was like, not no.
The fact
It
that you
is.
just pulled that out of your pocket like
Fits
that.
in my pocket.
That's insane.
This could never fit in a girl's pocket.
No.
Ever.
No.
Ever. Okay, that was our. I really should be sponsored by this phone case because I
You
talk about
should.
it pretty much every day.
Who makes it?
No idea.
Oh.
No idea. What were we just talking about? I made a Benjamin Franklin joke.
What? Oh, my goals in acting.
Yeah,
and
your
music.
goals, your ultimate goals. How far do you want to take it?
As far as possible.
Like, if overnight you could snap your finger and be the
Yeah.
most famous person in the world, is that what you would want?
I don't know if it's the fame that I would want, but I know that it makes me really, really happy.
Yeah.
Like the idea of walking down the street and a bunch of people chasing you freaks me out.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had that.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a level of celebrity that
Right.
like is manageable. It's always weird. It like if someone gets really comfortable with it, that's sus.
Yeah.
Like something's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't imagine not being able to
No.
go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. I like doing things for myself. I don't like
Yeah.
having other people do them.
Yeah.
And to kind of lose that part of you is just scary.
Right. But it's really about the work for you. You want to just
100%.
like flex
Yeah.
and be challenged.
Yeah.
What is your favorite type of work in terms of acting?
Anything where I'm in a state of distress,
Hmm.
I think is really great. Or like if I get to get angry, because I don't really get angry in my day-to-day life. That's something that I love to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it really is like a channel and a release for you. You get to like get shit out in your characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when we were doing Walking Dead, if I had like a emotional scene or something and something was going on, the second that I finished the scene, I just felt better.
I have
around.
truly never seen someone cry like you can. You can literally just like turn it on, it's on, and then it's off. And then
Yeah.
it's on, and then it's off. And there's something about crying on TV, especially when you're like shooting it 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
Right? You have to get all of the sides, all of the cameras that are
That
there.
part is tough when you
Yeah.
have to like do it over and over again.
But like, girl,
Dude, I got sadness in me. I got that dog in me.
do you cry in your waking life on a regular basis?
It's hard.
Hmm.
It's hard. Like it comes out every now and then if something's going on, but it's a lot easier for me to do it in front of a camera than it is in my personal life.
As somebody else.
Yeah.
Is there a real separation for you? Are you able to like leave your shit at the door when you're playing somebody else? Or do you feel like you bring all of your shit to get out as somebody else?
Not fully. I think there's still a little bit of me when I'm playing a character. But I also think that able to like separate it pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, no, I think I would agree with that. Yeah. I think it depends on the role too and the project.
True.
Like
Yeah.
the more similar the character is to me, the easier it is for me to bring myself into it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I do a really good job of, well, actually both bringing myself to the role and completely separating it. Depending on like how I need to protect myself and my family,
Right.
especially now having
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, granted, this is the longest I haven't worked in my entire adult life.
No way.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years since I've been on the set.
Same.
Yeah. And that's not because we're like not good at what we do, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say that out loud. Like
Yeah.
the industry is messy right now. People
Yeah.
are making much less film and television than they ever have.
But there's just those people that I feel like are always announcing new shit, you know?
It's like 0.01%.
Yeah.
Like I truly don't know anybody that's working right now. Like personally, like
Yeah.
yeah, we see,
Yeah.
the 20 actors that are always doing something,
Yeah.
but I don't know anyone that's working full time right now. Even on the other side, writers, directors,
Yeah, shit.
it's going to pick back up. The pendulum has to swing the other way.
It has to. I just don't know when.
I also just think like politically and socially and what's happening in the world right now, like financially, there was
Yeah.
a time when like interest rates were so low, money was basically free. So all these studios and networks were just making everything that they
Right.
wanted. And interest rates are so high right now. It's like impossible to get a loan for anything.
Yeah.
It's weird. How are you doing in this?
Just in life in general?
No, I mean in this like lull, in this break.
Oh, not good.
Because you were working very consistently.
I didn't have any time to myself before, and it's like for the first 6 months it was nice.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, cool, I get a little bit of a break. But now I'm kind of starting to hit that like existential point, where it's like, am I ever gonna work again?
Yeah.
Is this gonna end? Like, what's going on? And I have to say, music has been my saving grace in that.
Same.
Yeah, because
Same.
you're doing it too. You're fucking killing
For
it.
the first time in my life. I've never made music before. I mean, I wrote like a few
Yeah.
little zingers in high school about some
Yeah.
girl that I was like in love with.
Yeah.
But no, I've never done it at this level. And my plan is to do a full episode on the show, really talking about making music and
Mm-hmm.
playing songs and what they all mean, especially like in relation to becoming a parent. My whole first album is about becoming a parent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like I unlocked like a secret to the universe in making music.
Yeah.
Especially just the difference in being an actor, film and television. Theater actor is a different thing because you have this immediate gratification. You have
Yeah.
somebody responding to what you were doing in real time. As a television actor, you don't get a response
No.
from anybody. There is no gratification.
Yeah.
Maybe one fucking grip or one hair person will come up and be like, "Oh my god, that was amazing."
Yeah.
But like, and if someone says that to you, it'll make your fucking day.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like, but for the most part, nobody says shit to you. Like maybe another actor will say something, and then a year passes. And it goes on the editing room floor and music gets added and you do 200 takes and they get to pick and they cut and
Yeah.
paste everything together. And it's just so far from what you did on the day
Yeah.
that it just feels like it's never fulfilling the product as an actor. Do you like watching yourself?
No, I hate
No.
it. I hate it.
Do you like listening to your music?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to me
Yeah.
about that.
It's me.
It's
like,
yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's mine.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not a big fan of my speaking voice, but I do like my singing voice. I just kind of piss myself off when I hear myself talk. But, and the music too, it's like, lately I've been writing songs about things that are happening in real time, like not past emotions or anything. And listening to them has been helping me get through these things.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you can listen to it right away. That's the
Yeah.
best part about music for me. Is
Yeah.
you can like go into the studio, you have an idea, a morsel of a song,
Yeah.
and then you like pound it out for a few hours, and then by the end of the day, you have a fucking song you can listen to. And the sonic healing that happens
Yeah.
with music, there's a reason music is what it is,
Yeah.
right? Different frequencies hit different parts of your body in different ways. We're all made of water.
Yeah.
Like it affects our bodies in ways that like we're not even totally aware of.
Right.
But it's magic.
Yeah.
And when you can like create magic like
Yeah.
that, fuck.
It's wild.
It's
Really wild.
so powerful.
Yeah.
And it's yours. I mean, that's really like the big thing for me too. Like as an actor, we're so used to bringing other people's projects to life.
Yeah.
Right? Like other people spend years writing scripts and they have to get funded and you have to build full teams and there's huge budget. It just is like, and then you go in and you do your little part. You're like a chess piece, right?
That's so true.
But when you're when you're a musician, you're making your own music. It's yours. You're in control.
Yeah.
You've been playing shows recently.
I have. I played 3 shows in the last year.
Talk to me about it.
Ooh, first one was really fun.
Yeah.
I did an acoustic set at the Viper Room.
Nice.
And then
That's like iconic.
that one was great.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun, super easygoing. And then I did the Mint June 21st and I bombed big, like more than I, like so bad. And there was a guy there that I had a crush on.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh my God, he's gonna know. Like he's gonna see.
What does that mean to bomb on stage like that?
I just I was so nervous, and the rehearsal I was so focused on making sure my voice sounded good that I totally forgot about the stage presence and getting the crowd engaged and just like showing more of myself rather than trying to be perfect.
The showmanship of it all.
Yeah, exactly. So that one just sucked. And I remember my voice coach brought someone who was in the TV industry, like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And he was like, she's got a great voice, but we don't know who she is. And that hit me so hard.
Well, do you remember what this first question on this podcast was?
Well, I still don't have the answer.
How can anybody else know who you are if you don't?
Oh, fuck.
You know what I love about podcasts?
I don't like this.
Is because it's just fucking therapy. Like we
I
get
have
to
therapy later.
I'm sure you're gonna be talking about some of this.
No, I've got,
No, you got shit to talk about. You got shit to unpack right now.
I got so much to unpack.
I
know.
No, but for real, like especially as a musician, like they're not just taking in the music, right? Like they're taking in the person, the listener of music.
Yeah.
And what I've kind of like been having fun doing is approaching the music kind of like I approach an acting job. Like, yes, it's me.
Yeah.
But I get to like create this character as the musician.
Interesting.
And if I can like bring him to the shows, or bring him to the music video, or even like a little fucking Instagram reel that I'm posting, right? I'm like, that whole thing is like a full-time job. But like, yeah, I've had fun doing it as a character of myself than just myself.
I really like that, like the way that you're looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be like a confident person when I'm on stage.
Right.
And not like.
But your music is heavy, like you're like unpacking shit in these songs.
That's what's terrifying about it too.
Yeah.
Is that you get on stage and you're writing a song about basically being like, I'm checking out.
Right.
And you don't know how people are going to react to that. Like,
Right.
are they going to think I'm insane? Or are they going to relate to it?
Right.
I don't know.
And like, is their understanding of the music really that important?
I guess not. I guess like at the end of the day, I want them to be able to make the song their own,
Right.
And like listen to it and bring it back to something that's going on in their lives. Because I don't want everyone to listen to it and think about my problems, But
Do you get more nervous going on stage to sing a song or going on set to act out a scene?
I don't get nervous on set.
Really?
No, I get so nervous on stage.
Why? What's the difference there?
I don't know. It's like my voice starts to crack and I start to.
Well, that's the thing about being nervous on stage singing. It's like it affects your voice so much.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I tried taking like a shot or two before going on stage, and I was like, if I do that, I'm gonna forget the words.
Yeah.
So I can't do that.
Yeah, I have this like recurring dream that I'm either on stage acting or singing, and all of the words just disappear.
Same.
I mean, I think it's a common dream for us as performers, right? But it's a debilitating dream. And you wake up and you're just so stressed out.
Yeah.
And you came to see my show at the Mint. It was the first time
You killed that
thanks,
shit.
Dude. It was the first time I've ever sang some of those songs live on stage. Like I've never played a show like that. I've played it as a character, like on TV.
Yeah.
But I've never done that before. And I was like confident, right? I like days before I was like, this is gonna be so much fun. I got this shit. I know these songs like the back of my hand. Like no problem.
Yeah.
Like chill.
Yeah.
Sophie, who I've been performing with, is on stage. She's like doing the song that leads to me coming on stage, and all of a sudden I have like dun, dun, dun. And I'm like, I don't know any of my words. And I ran
No.
backstage and I was like trying to sing the songs really fast. And I like pulled my phone out and I'm like trying to take in these words as fast as I can. And I had a little panic attack.
I would have never picked up on that.
Oh, thank you.
Like, at all.
Thank you. It's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not a little bit nervous, something's wrong, right?
Oh,
like,
100%.
You have to channel
yeah,
that shit.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not nervous, I don't think you're as excited about it anymore. It's like routine. It's like, I don't want it to become routine.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I had so much fun on stage.
You have
And
another one coming up.
we're playing London in November.
Oh my God.
And I wrote a musical. We'll unpack that in
Oh
a
my
future
God.
episode. But yeah, I basically took all the music from the album and wrote a musical about birth
Oh.
and becoming a dad.
Oh.
Because I've always just been like, I'm an actor first, and now I
Yeah.
started making music. Like, yeah, sure, I could like go put on a concert, but
Right.
my strength is in storytelling.
Yeah.
Like and a musical is not really the right word for it. It's like a concert story hybrid, which I guess
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is a fucking musical, but still. But like, how can I have a beginning, middle, and end on stage? What is
Yeah.
the story that I can tell about the songs and
Yeah.
really like take the fucking audience on a full journey? I'm having so much fun writing this. I'm in the middle of a second draft right now, and it is fucking weird.
Oh my God.
Weird, but I'm hoping it's coming to life next year.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Damn, did you do it all?
I guess I'll take it. Yeah.
You do.
I mean, I got a lot of time right now, just like not when you're on set full time, it's,
Yeah. You don't really have a life besides that.
right. But my whole life has changed. I mean, I have a baby, another one on the way. Like, you met me before I had kids, right?
Yeah, but you're still the same guy.
Am I?
Yeah. You really
But you
are.
haven't seen me with her. I mean, you've seen me like,
But you're still weird. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
in the best way possible.
yeah.
So,
I don't mean to make this about me, but like, what was your like first impression of me on The Walking Dead in Richmond?
oh my God. Okay. I probably told you this story. But I remember we all met up to go. Oh, I saw you. We were in a fitting.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you briefly in the fitting. I can't remember if I said hi or not. Did I say hi?
Yeah.
Okay. I said hi. And then we all decided to go bowling.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I had the biggest crush on you
Oh.
when I watched, I want to say it was Scream.
Yeah.
And then I met you and I was like, this is just going to be like my older sibling.
Totally. Yeah.
No, like, I don't know. There was like, I just fucking loved you the second that I met you. Do you know
Same.
what I mean?
Yeah. Same.
Like, you're so easy to be around and you feel safe,
Mm.
which is so rare in this business.
Wow, it's such a sweet thing to say.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
We had a lot of fun in those couple years.
we had so much fun.
Yeah. I mean, we really lived in like a little bubble,
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
something cool and also sad about working on a job like that. We're like carnies. We set up a tent in a city. Like,
Yeah.
we all get so close. We fall in and out of love. And
Yeah.
then we disperse and, like, for the most part, don't really see anybody ever again.
I know.
We've done a good job of staying in touch,
Yeah.
But, like, yeah.
It is tough because you kind of become each other's world.
And it's
for a
not
little
just the
while.
cast, too. It's the crew. It's everyone.
Oh, yeah. Frenchie, I still like every time I go live on Instagram, he's right there.
We love you, Frenchie.
Frenchie, you're the best.
I owe you a phone call, French. Yeah, it's something really special about what we do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pivot here a little bit.
Okay.
You have been very vocal in a way that's like really cool to witness, because it's not something that people usually talk about publicly in like a chill way, but you've just been very vocal about mental health and anxiety and shit you've struggled with in the past. And my first question is, like, at what point in your life as a kid did you notice that, like, maybe things were harder than other people?
When kids would want to have sleepovers, like friends, I couldn't do it. There was like a wave of doom that would come over me the second that I realized, like, I'm not home and everyone's going to bed right now and, like, I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable.
I could never stay at a sleepover as a kid.
I couldn't do it.
No. My like mom would never let us really,
Yeah.
but like the few times that I was like, okay,
Yeah.
12 o'clock, come pick me up.
Dude, same. Same. My mom would have to come get me, like, as soon as kids were going to bed, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I start freaking and panicking. Even sleeping at, like, my aunt and uncle's house, which was right next door to my grandparents' house.
Really?
I still couldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing. And I realized, like, oh, I think I have separation anxiety.
It was specifically away from your mom or your house?
My mom. Yeah. I was terrified. I was like, something's going to happen to my mom while I'm gone, or, you know, I'm not going to be there when something happens. And so, yeah, I think that's when I kind of realized that something was a little bit off.
Did you see anxiety in other family members? Was it something that like you witnessed in your house at all? No.
No.
How did you like talk to your mom about it, and how was she there for you as a kid?
She just took it as like, oh, she doesn't like not being around me, you know? And then as I got older, I remember I was in 10th grade and I was sitting in math class when I transferred over to the public school. And this was my first panic attack where I started sweating, my heart was racing, I got really dizzy, and I just ran to the bathroom and I had no idea what was going on because I'd never had a panic attack before.
You were in 9th grade, you said?
Yeah. And after that, it was like a snowball effect of just anxiety and doom.
And what happened?
In the math class,
Yeah.
I told the teacher that I wasn't feeling well and I went to the bathroom and I called my mom and told her what was going on and then I went home.
What was going on?
I just had a panic attack.
Well, like, how does it manifest? Like, what is it?
I, like the feelings, the symptoms.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there and I felt uneasy, like kind of like I was swaying. And then I noticed that my hands were really clammy and that my heart was going really, really fast. And I thought I was having a heart attack. I was like, shit, like it's genetic. I'm getting one right now. And you get like chest pains too, which is really strange. And that's when I was like, okay, this is something serious. And then I ran to the bathroom, called my mom, and she knew that it was a panic attack.
Yeah.
But she was like, you know, it's okay, I'll come get you. And
She came and picked you up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how soon did it happen again?
pretty frequently after that.
Really?
Yeah, because there's like a fear. When you have one and you don't know what it is, there's like this fear of it happening again. And that in itself.
Like it's always just waiting.
Yeah, it's looming over you.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly when it happened again, but maybe like once every couple of days I would have had one.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
How quickly did you get into therapy?
I didn't get into therapy until I was 21.
Wow. So you spent years having these panic
Yeah.
attacks without talking to
Oh,
anybody.
yeah. I would go to like the emergency room and be like, I'm dying. Like, this one's it. And it was always just anxiety. And now I've had the same therapist since I was 21, and she's the best.
And how did your dad respond to this?
He doesn't understand it. Like, even now, if I tell him, like, oh, I'm sad or I'm feeling anxious, he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't really know. Like, it just kind of happens. And he's like, well, I've gone through this and that, and you don't see me being anxious or being
Right.
depressed.
Somehow makes it about him. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every fucking time. So.
I mean, I just like, as a dad, I can't imagine my child going through something like that.
Well, now it's like, I think we're part of a generation that understands it.
Right.
You know? And I think that if Kilmer or your other soon-to-be child was going through it, you would know how to approach it, you know, in a way that's, you don't necessarily need to tell them, like, everything's going to be fine. Just
breathe.
I swear to God. Oh my God. There was another part to that video that morning I couldn't go to bed. I fell asleep at like 4 a.m. and I called my mom, and my sister had left weed at my mom's apartment.
Okay.
And I was like, maybe I should just like try smoking again.
Girl,
to see
you
if
and weed does not mix.
It doesn't mix. It gives me panic attacks. But I was joking. I was like, yeah, maybe I should just like start smoking weed again. It's been like 5 years since I've even touched it.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, you know why you can't sleep? And I was like, why? She goes, because you think too much. Really? Are you fucking kidding me? No way.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks. Oh my God, breakthrough. Just breathe. Fucking shit.
I mean, do you feel like I guess you kind of just answered this question, but like, do you feel like you have a healthy dialogue with your family about this shit now, or it's still like you experience this and nobody understands it?
I have a healthier dialogue with my
Right.
family, like definitely with my sister. My dad is a lost cause when it comes to that kind of stuff. Mom, like 50-50. You know, it honestly depends on the mood that she's in. Like that'll tell how caring she's going to be in the moment, you know?
And how often are you going to therapy? Once a week?
Man, this past month has been a little more than once a week.
Yeah.
Usually it's once a week.
And have you tried medications and shit too?
I tried Wellbutrin,
Yeah.
and thought that people were following me, so I got off the
Really?
medication. Yeah, I got really paranoid.
I tried Wellbutrin once. I didn't really notice anything.
Well, the thing is, I got prescribed in Virginia
Yeah.
when we were shooting Walking Dead because my panic attacks, my anxiety got so bad.
Really?
Yeah, like to the point that like I couldn't concentrate in a scene because I was so nervous and scared.
Was that your first time really living away from LA?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
So clearly that played a part in it.
And also like I was super sick when we were shooting the first season of Walking Dead. And this doctor, I told her what was going on, and she prescribed me a medication that like if you're bulimic and you're taking Wellbutrin, you can start having seizures.
Oof.
Like there's something about the bulimia, like puking and stuff, that it just doesn't mix well with the medication. And yeah, so I just had a really bad reaction to the medication. And since then, like, I have like anti-anxiety medication that I take if I'm having a panic
If you're
attack.
having a panic attack, yeah.
But it's like, I don't really get them as often as I did before. So.
The time that I've known you, right, especially even just like from first season to second season of Walking Dead, like I witnessed a shift in your relationship with your own body. And can you talk some just about that process and what you went through and
Yeah.
how you're doing now? And
So when we started Walking Dead, I was severely like, I thought I was in recovery, but I was still at a very low weight. And
was it something that you had experienced for years up to that point?
it started
Yeah.
when I was like 14 or 15.
Okay, so it kind of all started
Yeah.
at the same time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And it was like, it would go in waves. And then I had like my party phase in LA coupled with being super sick. And then I got out of my party phase and finally started therapy and started my recovery journey. But being on set, I just wasn't ready physically and emotionally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't have a relapse until end of the season.
Well, especially because you were working, especially that first season.
I
You
don't
were
think
there
I had a day off.
every day. Yeah.
No.
I mean, the whole show was about you that first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so end of the season, that's when it all kind of hit me. And then COVID happened.
Right.
And that's when I was like, why am I even trying to get better? The world is falling apart. Like, my outlook was so like doomsday. And I had a really bad relapse after season 1. And coupled with COVID, I got sick and I ended up in the hospital. And that's when I got there and the doctors were like, if you hadn't come in today, you wouldn't have seen tomorrow.
Wow.
And that was my wake up call.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was really bad. And then got better, went to Vancouver to shoot one show, finished in Vancouver, went to Virginia to shoot Walking Dead. And like it's been up and down, but I'd say for the last year, I've been pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's freeing.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Look, what is part of your practice? Just like stay ahead.
I have my routine,
Yeah.
and I think it's something that I don't know if I'm going to be stuck in it forever,
Right.
but doing things that keep me kind of grounded and things that I know make me feel good. Like waking up, first thing I do is go to the gym.
Yeah.
That's a non-negotiable for me.
You've always done that. Yeah.
Yeah. And also just like being like stern about my choices and whatnot. Like for a while I let people be like, oh, well, you don't need anything fun or whatever. Like, and I would eat what they wanted me to eat, but then it would backfire on me because it would make me spiral, you know? So now I'm like, I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. I'm going to do what's good for me. I know that I'm healthy. I know that I'm good. And just, I don't know, just keep pushing, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but
No.
I mean, Bethany was a huge light with that.
Yeah.
Because she was someone that I could like really talk to and open up to.
Yeah. I mean, Bethany's been very vocal over the
Yeah.
years about her struggles with eating disorders. And I remember she did that TED Talk, right?
Yeah.
And you watched that video
Yeah.
while we were in Virginia. It was like something that I have had experience with, just knowing Bethany for so long, that like, I don't think like it was like very clear that you were having a hard time to everyone. Like you did a good job of separating it, I think.
Yeah.
But I definitely like had a soft spot for you for sure
Yeah.
in that little bit. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing better, sis.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
feels good. It's been a long time of that shit.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I like to be open about it, because when it started out for me, I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that it was hurting me. And when you started talking about it, people just be like, "Oh, just like fucking eat."
Yeah.
And it's like,
Fucking breathe. Fucking
exactly.
eat.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not that easy or whatever. But yeah, so I think now like I want to be open about it, because I don't know who's listening to this.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody is listening to this that's having a hard time with panic attacks or eating disorders, or
Yeah.
really just like yourself in general, like, I guess if you could go back and say something to the 14-year-old version of you, like, what would it be?
Just do things for you. Don't do them for other people. Because I think that was something that I wanted to fit in so bad with other people, and I let others' opinions penetrate me way too much. And it just made me spiral into this like, oh, maybe if I'm skinnier or this and that, the other people will like me. It doesn't work like that. People are going to like you for other reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
The body dysphoria thing is such a weird fucking
Yeah.
spiral. It's like, I mean, I've had versions of it my whole life. It's eating disorders in my family, and there's just like always been body stuff in my
Yeah.
family. And to like see the person in the mirror as a different thing from what other people see, it's just like such a weird fucking thing.
It's so strange. And you almost get like, I would get mad at other people when they would like compliment me or something or say something nice, because I'm like, you're lying to me. I don't believe you. You know? And it takes a lot of work to shift that mindset and realize like, you're pretty fucking great, you know?
How, we've already said you were single, but you've had some longer relationships over the last few years.
Yeah.
And you date, right?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, for as long as I've known you, you like have wanted some sort of man in your life.
Yeah, well, man don't want me in their life. So,
But how do you, I guess my question is like, how do you navigate dating with some of the weight that you're carrying?
with the weight that I'm
Not
carrying.
like physical
No, I
weight,
know.
but like, that's probably not the right word to choose.
No, I get what you mean
Yeah.
though. You know what? I think that might be why I've gravitated towards musicians.
Right.
Because
You
there's
love a fucked up musician.
I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's like your favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Some tortured artist.
I know, and I'm going through it right now.
Do you think you want someone that's more fucked up than you?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Huh?
But I think like I want someone who's gone through it, they're out of it now. You know? I don't want to be with someone who's like, everything is great and life is awesome all the time, because it's not.
Right.
And I was in a relationship with someone that was like that. And it just, yeah,
It didn't work.
no,
No.
definitely not.
Because he couldn't understand the darker side?
He's just like, he was too judgmental, I guess. And like, I know he would try to be understanding, but I don't really think he got it. He was very rigid. And I don't know, no shade to him. I hope he's happy.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't a good fit.
What are you looking for in a man right now?
Communication. I think that's a big one, because a lot of people lack it.
Like if you start dating someone, right?
Yeah.
You meet someone on fucking Raya or some shit, okay?
Yeah.
And you go out, you have a couple dates, like at what point do you have conversations about panic attacks? Like how quickly does something like that come up?
It depends on how comfortable I feel with a person.
Right.
I don't think I would say anything until maybe like the 4th or 5th date.
Okay.
But it would have to come up naturally. You know, like, and also depending on how understanding they are, and like you kind of get that sense from someone like right off the bat from meeting
Right.
them.
Whether you can speak to each other or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is not working anymore, but I met someone that I was seeing for a little while, and right off the bat, like nothing physical happened. We would talk for like 8 hours at a time and just like sit on my balcony and talk. And that's something that I look for, you know, like that emotional connection. The physical connection's great, but if you can't be with someone in their thoughts for a while,
Right.
I don't think it's gonna work. But
Yeah, I mean, I totally hear that.
yeah,
I've struggled with addiction in my life. I mean,
Yeah.
I've talked about it very openly. I'm coming up on 10 years sober from alcohol,
Wow,
which is
congratulations.
fucking crazy. I mean, I'm not a totally sober person.
Yeah.
I like still smoke pot every once in a while
Yeah.
and love a plant medicine. But how has your relationship with substance and alcohol specifically, like how do you use it as like a power tool, and is it ever an issue?
I would lie if I said I didn't drink. I try to only drink on the weekends, mostly because during the week I have to be up at like 6 a.m. every day, but I've noticed that if I drink too much, it does cause a shift in my mental health,
Right.
which is why I try
Well, it's a depressant.
yeah,
I mean, through and through. There's no
Yeah.
question about that.
totally.
Except for tequila.
Yeah, it's kind of gross though.
Yeah. But it's
But-
the only thing that's not a depressant,
All right,
alcohol-wise.
I guess I know what I'm drinking tonight.
Yeah, but I mean, do you, like, does it bring you down, or is the part of it that brings you up more valuable?
I'm not a sad drunk.
No, you're not.
No,
you're
I'm-
a very happy drunk.
I'm a pretty like happy.
Yeah.
And
There's
I-
definitely like a light that shines when you've had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
In a different way. Not that like it's not there before, but you loosen up. And listen, when I drank, I
Yeah.
mean, I used to become a different person. Not that I was ever like sad before,
Yeah.
but like there was a shift
Yeah.
in me as a drunk.
Yeah, I think it's mostly like I get really bad social anxiety.
Right.
And I think having a drink or two is what kind of calms me down.
Right.
And prevents the panic.
It does prevent the panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't like,
Does it bring the panic on the next day?
it depends on how much
Right.
I drink.
Right.
But I try not to have more than like 3 or 4 drinks
Right.
in a night if I go out or do anything.
Right.
But like how it's gotten way better than I'd say even like 6 years ago. Because like I didn't know my limits. When I was like 20, 21, I was doing way more than drinking.
Right.
And like every single night.
Yeah, especially in LA. I mean, that's
Oh,
what we
yeah.
were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just was like what was expected.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like if you didn't do it, it's like, why don't you, like, why not? And it's
Right.
like, I don't know, because like I don't want to die. But yeah, I think it's gotten better. I do. Even like since doing Walking Dead, I don't drink nearly as much as I did when we were over there.
Did you ever stop? Like, do you ever think about just stopping entirely?
Like
Is that
forever?
like a thought that you have? Yeah.
No.
No,
No, not gonna happen.
not for you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right, let's shift gears for a second. So much of this show, the conversations that Bethany and I are having on this show, is about becoming parents and parenting and our relationship and how it's shifted over the years. And I kind of want to pick your brain on your thoughts about potentially becoming a parent someday and what that could look like, and also just like how your group of friends, your generation, like even just discusses parenthood. Not that I'm asking you to like speak for a generation, but
No,
like,
but like I thought I was gonna have kids by now.
oh, you did.
I genuinely thought that by like 27, I'm 28, I would have the white picket fence, the red door, 3 kids, inflation, and like all that shit. Just the way that everything is, it's a lot harder than I imagined.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not easy to have kids.
I do want kids.
You do.
Yeah.
You've always wanted kids.
I would love to have like 2 kids. Raise them here, I think. But the older I get, the more far-fetched it feels. because like I don't even have a partner to do that with. And I've gone back and forth in my mind of like, if I book a job or if I'm doing something that's bringing in enough money to have a kid, I would do it on my own. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
But just right now with how unstable life is, I'm not really sure.
What kind of mom do you think you would be?
The cool mom.
The cool mom.
I mean, I think I'd be open and honest with my kids.
Yeah.
I tell them that everything that I did, they're going to know all of it and they're going to know how bad it was and how just it doesn't end well for the most part. And I don't want them to have questions. I want them to feel like if something is going on, I will be there and I'm not going to judge them. I'm going to be there to listen to them and talk to them in a way that makes them feel safe, not like they're a bad person or wrong.
I mean, besides the like financial burden of having kids, like what about it makes you nervous?
I mean, I can barely take care of myself. How am I going to take care of another life? But like, it's like one of those things that I had a friend that just had a kid, maybe like a year ago, and it wasn't like the kid wasn't planned, but there was a switch that went off when she had the kid. Yeah. That like all of a sudden she knew what to do.
Well, it happens overnight. It's crazy.
Yeah.
More for dads overnight. I mean, for, the person carrying the child, you like have 9 months to like really work it out. And physically what happens too is crazy. Like to watch Bethany just deal with her own body shit, getting pregnant, having the baby, not being pregnant, then getting pregnant again. It's like a fucking roller coaster,
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. Like, I truly feel like it is the reason that we are here on this planet. And if somebody is listening, like, doesn't have kids, power to you. Like, totally worthy and of value. But it's changed everything about who I am. Everything. I, like, don't even recognize pictures of myself before I had kids.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh.
It's really weird. Like, I was meant to do this. I was meant to be a dad.
You've been wanting this for as long as I've known you.
Especially in Virginia, it was like the second season is when we started trying to get pregnant, and we were convinced we were going to get pregnant right away.
Yeah.
But Bethany was coming down to Virginia once a month just to like,
I remember that.
Bang it out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking awesome parents.
Well, thanks.
You really are.
We all have to hang out with the kids so you can.
I would love that.
See 'em,
I'll bring my dog.
You should come down to Florida at some point.
I would love to.
We would love to have you.
I'm there.
What is something that's like really shifting in your life right now? Like, what is the ultimate Alexa shift at the moment?
I think I'm trying to find this validation within myself right now. And I think that's where I'm at in my life, where I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's not going to come from any outside sources. Because like, think about our jobs, like love life, all that kind of stuff. Everything is fleeting. And the only thing that's not is me, So I think that shift that's happening is just trying to, as cheesy as it is, give myself the love that I'm trying to get from everything else.
Yeah. It's not always the easiest thing to do.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Well, this was awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like I could talk to you forever.
Same.
Hey, we're going to put one of your songs as the little outro
Yeah.
for this episode. We're going to play the full song. Tell me about this song.
I wrote this song when I was 17, and my sister and I did not have a good relationship at the time. We were both dealing with things in our own ways, and talking to each other wasn't something. And I just kind of hit a breaking point. And to be completely honest, I felt like I was ready to check out. And I wrote this song, and the second that I finished it, it was like a weight was just off my shoulders, and I didn't have those feelings anymore. Not that it wasn't hard, but this song was basically to like tell my sister and tell my family, like, whatever happens has nothing to do with you guys. Ooh. This is me. Because that's like the one thing that you worry. It's like, oh, people are going to be like, what could I have done differently? And I never wanted anyone to hurt like that. It took me a really long time to even bring this song in the studio and be like, and sing it.
Yeah, I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, this was a hard one.
What's the song called?
Triggers.
Triggers.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really beautiful. All right, before we're done, let's like fucking play a quick little game and just kind of like change the mood here. Do you know the game Say the Same Word?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna snap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th snap,
Yeah.
we have to say a word, a random word. Our goal is that we say the same word out loud. So we
planet?
keep going,
Yeah.
and you like find the common denominator between the 2 words
Okay.
until we say the same word.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Ready?
Shirt.
Grass.
Pants.
Green.
Garden.
Shorts. Pocket.
What the fuck is this
Shorts, pocket. That's where we're at.
game? Okay.
Wallet.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, that was a success. Benjamin fucking Franklin in the studio live. Y'all, my name is Nico Tortorella. This is
Alexa Mansour.
Tell me what your socials are, where we can find your music.
My Spotify is Alexa Mansour. My Instagram is at Alexa Mansour.
Can you spell that for the people?
A-L as in Larry, E-X-A-M as in Mary, A-N-S-O-U-R.
You have an album?
I don't. I have a bunch of singles coming out,
You have
though.
a bunch of singles coming out.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there any TV or film or stuff that's coming out in the world?
Nope.
Nope. Stay tuned, y'all.
It will, though.
We're going to keep talking. We're going to do a little bonus episode.
Yeah.
So if you want more content, go over to Patreon. We're going to tell some really weird stories about some shit that happened to us down in Richmond, Virginia, shooting The Walking Dead. This was so nice. There's something like really special about just like the nature of a podcast.
Yeah.
Kind of what you were saying, like we can just sit on our balcony and talk for 8 hours, but like there's this little space that's created where you can connect in a way that like doesn't always happen outside of these rooms. And then take it one step further, like you get to go back and listen to this episode.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite things in the world, the healing that happens in these conversations. For me, for us, like
I agree.
it's fucking great. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank
and for
you for
really
having
like
me.
sharing a lot of deep personal stuff. People don't do that. And it's important. I think it really can like help people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
I love you. Get the fuck out of here.
I love you, too.
Bye. This is full shift. Hey. Go pee.
No, I don't
What?
have to pee.
Oh, you don't
You
have
said
to
get
pee?
the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah. Okay. Bye.
Nothing I can do to make a difference in my way. 'Cause every time I try, it just drives me insane. Part of me thinks I should fight, that this feeling's only temporary. But I can see the fading light. I know that you'll be fine without me. 'Cause I don't see anything getting better anytime soon. Leaving you won't be easy. Don't wanna bring you down too. Before I go, I need to say it wasn't anything you did. I just don't have the strength to stay. So it's farewell, and I'll always be watching. Everything I see triggers all these monsters inside of me. I try to close my eyes. Living is a decision, and I've already made up my mind. I tried so hard to make it through. Thought that time could make me change. Now I have to face the truth, that I've been playing a losing game. 'Cause I don't see anything getting better anytime soon. Leaving you won't be easy. Don't wanna bring you down too. Before I go, I need to say it wasn't anything you did. I just don't have the strength to stay. So it's getting better anytime soon. Leaving you won't be easy, don't wanna bring you down too. Before